Pacific proa, make or break, finally junk rigged. So because I need to find the shape of the sail that can work on this boat, I made it out of plastic. This is just a model. Now that's the shape. Now this is 8 square meter sail, and I'm going to sew up one out of polytop with camber between the panels. Basically I've learned a lot about this thing. I mean, I've had many problems setting this sail. I made it twice. I made it actually almost 3 times. A lot of cutting, a lot of adding on pieces of plastic, you know, and changing the shape. The first time I had the batten, the yard was not peaked up as high, and I've had a lot of problems. I couldn't set the sail. When I was leafing it, the battens were flopping down on me. All kinds of weird stuff was happening, and I just didn't like it. And the only way to solve that problem was peaking up this batten all the way. And I peaked it up very high. Another thing that I did is I held the halyard. The halyard is holding the batten higher up than the middle. So the batten is 2 meters long. My halyard comes at 90 centimeters from the top, and I've got 110 at the bottom. That again really helps with setting it, and when you drop it, the panels just come down beautifully one by one. I'm very happy. This is the first time I got it to work. Another thing that I had problems with was because this is a shunting rig. So this is a Lateen rigged junk proa or something. I don't know what it is, because that's a mast and that's a yard. So shunting rigs mean that they go from one bow to the other bow. This is a Pacific proa. It sails in both directions. So for this thing to shunt, that means that the sail has to go between the yard and the mast and flop over to the other side. It does it very well, but the only way it could do it was if I had a straight cut going down and only a tiny bit of the sail going ahead of the yard, because that's not a mast, that's the yard. And that also caused a lot of problems in setting the sail. If you can go a long way ahead of your mast, no problem, anything will set. But because it has to shunt and go through the mast and the yard, I can't go forward. Because I can't go forward, I can't set this sail properly. It just doesn't want to set, and the only way to get it to set was to peak up that yard, move the halyard further higher up, and leave just a tiny bit at the foot. I let out a little bit more. Another problem is clearing it snags onto the head stay, which is now the lazy stay. So this would be the head stay. This one. It's not working at the moment. That's why I have to put elastics, little pieces of elastic, so it pulls it back and the rig can go through and there's no snagging anymore. So okay, so that's got solved, and that's working very well now. Almost snags on it, but it doesn't. If I don't have that piece of elastic over there, then the stay will stay closer to the mast, and then it catches it, and then when you're shunting it, it takes it with you, and you can't shunt, you get stuck in the middle, all kinds of weird stuff happens. Here's the example of what happens when that's the backstay now, and then that piece of elastic, which is not here at the moment, but that one over there, it just stretches out like this, no problems. Main sheet block, probably here. I haven't decided yet. Here or here, couple blocks. Hong Kong Parrels. I've got only 2 Parrels on this rig. I've got a halyard. Okay, that's the green line going up over here. I've got a halyard, and I've got a yard Parrel that is actually pulling the halyard towards the mast. It's just pulling the carabiner itself. There's a carabiner up there that's holding the yard, the end of the halyard, and the yard Parrel is just pulling the carabiner towards my yard, which is, let's say, the mast. And then I got Hong Kong Parrel. And that's all I want. I really don't want more than that. My Hong Kong Parrel starts on the 4th batten from the bottom. And it does 1, 2, 3, 4. And it works really well. So there's going to be a couple of blocks over here, small little blocks on this bridge thing. I'm going to make a nice one, stronger, better, so I don't have that spaghetti over there. That now is my yard parrel. That looks like a mess. So if I got a little block over there, 2 little blocks on both sides, one can be yard parrel, sending the yard parrel to here, and a cam cleat over here. The other one can be Hong Kong Parrel, going through the block on the other side of the piece of wood, cam cleat on the other side, and that's me, game over, finished. I'm really happy with that. So that means 3 lines control this sail. It's a small sail, so it's no big deal, and it seems to be setting really nicely. I hope once I make it with cambered panels I don't get into trouble, but I got a feeling I'll get by. I don't want to add more paddles. That's what I'm talking about. I just don't want to add paddles anymore. I want to keep it to a minimum. As I leave, of course I have to let go of my Hong Kong Parrel. I have to loosen it, and I have to let the halyard parrel, the yard parrel, I have to let that one go, and then the sail just flops down beautifully. Bam, bam, bam. It's amazing how it works. That'll be on the next video. Once reefed, batten stagger is perfect. Really, really well. They set up beautifully, just like they got an angle, and as they go, you know, further out as they go up. I'm happy with that too. And basically, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I guess another good thing about this rig is that it doesn't need any wind and it just opens up. That's because my mast is canting forward. I've canted my mast forward just because I want to move the CE slightly more forward, slightly ahead, and the canted mast really works well. Shunting really works well. There's lines to figure out, there's messing to be messed about, and I'll be messing about for the next day or two, and then I'll start working on the sail, start stitching it up out of polytop. So I hope to make up the sail and get it done in about a week, and then take him for a test and see how he goes on the lake over here close by, and then we'll decide what we do. That's it, guys. So yeah, wish us luck, take care, good luck to you. All the best. Balkan Shipyards. Make or break.